All gamers want to get better at what they do, especially with the rise of esports and competitive play. While it may seem like grinding the game for hours and hours is the only way to get better, and as much as that does work, there are plenty of other things you can think about that can also help you grow as a player. Welcome everyone to It's All Viral. Nemo here, and today we're going to be bringing to you guys 10 easy tips to help you become a better gamer. We're running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway for the entire month of August. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment on why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Good luck to everybody that entered our August giveaway, guys, and if you could do us a favor and turn on your post notifications, all you gotta do is click that bell, check that box, and you can have every single It's All Viral video at your fingertips as soon as they go live. Now, first things first, guys, you need to love the game you're playing. There's no point in playing a game competitively that you don't love. When you take a step back and look at it, you're going to be putting hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game. And if you don't love the game, you're going to hate that time you're putting into it. We saw this happen in the last couple of years with esports when many Call of Duty players expressed their lack of enjoyment playing Infinite Warfare competitively. And many pro Street Fighter players expressed similar frustration in reference to 2016 Street Fighter V. If you plan on playing a game competitively, it has to be a game that you love. If you don't love your game, find another one. There are countless games played competitively. It's not going to be hard to find one that you love to play. Now, moving down the list at the number 9 spot is know your game. Before you even think about playing a game competitively, you have to really know how it works. There's a reason why competitive gaming looks so different than when you're playing online with random people. Competitive gamers have put the time into learning the ins and outs of their game, studying frame data, and testing every aspect of the playstyle. Now, I'm not saying you have to put hours and hours and hours into studying frame data or time to kill in order to be a good player, but it never hurts to know these things. And I mean, let's face it, guys, if you don't have a pretty solid knowledge of your game, you're not going to get very far. Being able to move your fingers super fast will only get you so far. You have to know how to move your fingers optimally in order to succeed in a competitive tournament. Always assume there is someone who knows more than you and use that as motivation to understand your game even more. Now, at our number 8 spot is lock down your fundamentals. Every game has fundamentals, be it a fighting game, a shooter, a MOBA, it doesn't matter. Every single game has things that every player must be good at in order to succeed. Well, if you want to be successful as a competitive player, you have to be an absolute expert on your fundamentals. You have to master those drop shots, wave dashes, one frame lengths, whatever that tough thing is in your game of choice. You have to be able to pull it off consistently and, hopefully more consistently than your opponent. Which brings us to our next point. At our number 7 spot is get consistent. If there's one thing that every pro player has in common, it's their consistency. Regardless of playstyle or how many world championships you've won, every pro player is incredibly consistent with everything that we've discussed so far and everything we will be discussing from this point on. The neutral game, the punish game, the fundamentals, the reads, and everything. Pro players are insanely consistent. If you want to play a game at the highest level, you have to be able to hit tough stuff every time you go for it. You have to be able to land those combos or make those shots that you struggle with. Put in the practice and the effort to land them every time you attempt them. Now, pro Smash player Jason Zimmerman, aka Mewtwo King, lives by the philosophy of being frame perfect 99 out of 100 times. And while that may seem excessive, he's widely regarded as one of the most consistent players in the history of the game and has been one of the top 5 players in the world for years and years and years now. Consistency is key. Now, at the number 6 spot is punish your opponent's mistakes. Now that we've talked about your personal consistency, let's talk about how it can help you exploit your opponents. If you're a fan of competitive Super Smash Bros. Melee, you'll often hear the commentators talk about a player's punish game. This is referring to a player's ability to call out their enemy's mistake and get a massive amount of damage on them by punishing it. But the punish game isn't applicable to just Melee. In any competitive video game, you need to be able to recognize your opponent's mistakes and punish them as hard as possible before they recover from their slip up. For example, if you're playing a competitive shooter and your opponent forgets to reload before getting into a gunfight, you gotta get as much damage into them as possible before they're ready to fight again. If you're playing a fighting game and the opponent throws out a laggy move that didn't connect, you gotta take that opportunity to blast them as hard as you can before they can recover and throw out another move. Recognizing the opponent's mistakes can be pretty easy, but punishing them for it can be pretty tough. Lock down on your punish game and make sure every opponent you face feels the pain of slipping up against you. Now, cracking into the top 5 easy tips to become a better competitive gamer, At the number 5 spot, we have play often. You simply won't get better at a game if you're not playing consistently. Now, bear in mind, you're gonna have good days and bad days, just like everyone else does. But if you let the bad days get to you and you start taking time off from playing, you're not gonna get any better. If you're gonna get serious about gaming, you're gonna need to be playing consistently. Try to play every day, even if it's just 20 minutes going over combos or fundamentals. Get your hands used to playing at that speed and that level of precision. Get your brain used to thinking quickly and in that level of detail. If you miss too much time, you're gonna get rusty real quick and have to retrain your brain and hands. Play as often as you can, because you know what they say, guys, practice makes perfect, most of the time. Now at the number 4 spot is read your enemies. This one is insanely important in fighting games, but it can be applied to just about any other game as well. Because of how deep most video games are now, there are tons and tons of ways to play them, leading to everyone developing their own playstyle. When you're in a competitive environment, be on the lookout for any patterns that your opponent may be using. If you're playing Call of Duty, maybe the other person always jumps around a corner. If you're playing Mortal Kombat, maybe the other person always throws a projectile when they dash forward. Because everyone has their own playstyle, everyone develops their own habits when faced with certain scenarios. Learn to recognize these patterns in your opponent and figure out how to exploit them. If your opponent is spamming one move over and over again, figure out a counter to it and render that move useless. If your opponent always goes for the same combo or always approaches in the same way, try to catch them off their guard, interrupting them the next time they try it. Get inside your opponent's head. Now at our number 3 spot, play against better players. If you want to be as good as you possibly can be, you have to play against players who are better than you. If you just want to play against noobs and people who aren't that good, you aren't really going to be learning anything. While we can't deny how good it feels to lay the beat down on someone below your skill level, the amount of knowledge you'll get from the experience is very limited. However, if you swallow your pride, play against someone better than you, and allow yourself to get beat, you will learn a lot. You'll see what techniques they're using to beat you and see what they've been doing to get themselves as far as they have been in the game. Yeah, it can be a little humiliating to get beat over and over again, but you'll learn a lot from it. If you find a player who's better than you and is a nice person, you can learn a lot from them. Not all of the good players are stuck-up jerks. There are tons of really good players who are more than happy to help someone get better. Play some 1v1s with people who are better than you and learn from them. Ask them questions and don't be afraid to try new and risky things that you wouldn't try in a competitive scenario just to see if they'll work. If you want to get good, you have to accept the fact that you're going to get bodied over and over again before you reach that new level. Now at the number 2 spot, watch the pros. If you want to get into competitive gaming, the best advice I can give to you as a starting point is to watch pros. The pros obviously see the game in a different light than the casual player, and you have to see how they play the game and how differently they play compared to you. Try to adopt their way of thinking and way of playing. A good starting point for many new competitive gamers is to choose a pro player and try to replicate their style. This will help you develop a better understanding of the game and will also lead you to making changes to their style and developing your own unique way of play. If you want to get into competitive gaming, definitely look at the people who are already doing it. There's a reason why they're so successful at it. Now last but very not least, at the number 1 spot is have fun. It's really easy to get caught up with the seriousness of everything that we've discussed in this video so far. But if you're not having fun, what are you doing? It's a video game at the end of the day. The word game is in the title, for God's sakes. You're supposed to have fun with it. Sure, it's super difficult to get to the highest level of play, and it's even harder to stay up there for a long time, but you have to know to have fun with the game you're playing. You have to be able to learn that there's a time to go try hard and there's a time to just have fun and goof off with your friends. Go for the risky options. Do something stylish from time to time instead of just going for the safe option. There's always a way to have fun with the game you're playing and not take it so seriously all the time. Guys, that's going to wrap it up with the top 10 easy tips to become a better competitive player. If you enjoyed the video, guys, let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. If you have any other suggestions on how to improve your playstyle, put them in the comments. Do us a favor, guys, and turn on your post notifications. All you got to do is click that bell, check that box, and you'll have every single It's All Viral video at your fingertips as soon as they go live. If you guys enjoyed this video, there's a playlist below that has plenty other top 10s just like this one. And if you guys have an idea for a future top 10, all you gotta do is go to the link in the description, fill out the form, and who knows, guys, it might make it into its own video. If you haven't already entered our August giveaway, guys, do us a favor and enter that. It's free money. Everybody likes free money, so all you gotta do is go to the beginning of the video and do all the steps, guys, and who knows, you might win it. At the end of the day, you're never gonna win something if you don't enter it. Thank you guys all once again for watching the video. We really do appreciate all your support, and until next next time, this has been Nemo from It's All Viral, and I'll talk to you guys on the next Top 10.